This is exercise 2-7. For this exercise, we're going to learn how to divide a wall into parts. And this can be helpful if you want to apply different types of materials to the same wall. So we're going to go to Open, and we're going to go to Wall in our Revit 2017 exercises. We're going to go to Wall Parts. We're going to activate the South Elevation view, so in the project browser, we'll scroll down to Elevations and double-click on South. So you can see the south wall here. These are grids, and these are datum lines marking the levels for this wall. Now we're going to go to the Create tab, and we're going to create parts. So we're going to click on the wall, Create tab, and then we're going to create parts. We're going to select Divide Parts in the Part panel. So Divide Parts, this is going to allow us to divide parts of the wall. But before we do that, we need to pick a work plane. So the work plane is normally set in the floor plan view, but we're working in an elevation. So we need to pick a plane, and we want to say OK, and then we want to select the front of the wall. So you can see how it highlights in blue. That's how I know I've selected it. Now my work plane is this elevation right here. So we're going to select the Add tool, and we're going to select the intersecting references from the reference panel. So intersecting references. So what comes up are the different levels. We're going to select filter to all so we can see grids and levels. And we're going to place a check next to the grids. So grid 1, all of these grids. And then we're going to say OK. And then you can see that while it did show, you can kind of see it's dividing it. We're going to hit this green check mark, and now each one of these grids is a panel. So that's a part, and this is a part, that's a part. In between each one of these grids is a part or a panel. We're going to switch to a 3D view, so I can do that up here, quick view. And in the properties pane, we're going to select the detail level to be medium, and then the part visibility to be show parts. Okay, so now this is going to allow us to see all those parts we just created on the south wall. We're going to select the second panel or part. So this is the second panel or part. And in the properties panel, we're going to uncheck material by origin. So we scroll over, material by origin, uncheck it. And that just means material by origin means that it's pulling from the wall type, but we want to change it. And then we're going to click in this material column, and we want to select precast concrete. So I'm going to type concrete, and then I've got concrete cast in place, and this is concrete precast concrete. And we're going to say OK. So now it changed that material to precast concrete. Now we're going to select the fourth panel, so this would be the fourth panel. And we're going to uncheck material by origin, and now we want to change this also to precast concrete. So I click in the box, start typing concrete, and we do precast concrete, and then OK. Now we want to hold down Control and select the two panels. So we're going to select this panel, hold down Control, and select this panel too. And then we're going to select Divide Parts from the Part panel again. And we're going to select Intersecting References. And then we're going to place a check next to Level 2. So wherever Level 2 is running across this building, it's going to divide it at that point. Okay. Now we're going to select the green checkbox. And you can see that the concrete panels are now divided into two sections. And apparently they counted this as part panel 2 and this one as panel 4. I was counting this as panel 1. It's okay. And you can see if you want to show it in wireframe, it's saying you can see the division a little bit better, which you can. Or even hidden line, you can see the division. Okay. So now we're going to hold down Control, and we select the two top parts of the panel. And then we're going to go over to the Properties box, and we want to change the material to masonry stone. So masonry stone, look for it right here. And then we're going to say OK. And then we're going to set the display to realistic. Okay, and now you can see the stone is on top of that concrete panel. And then we're going to select the top part indicated, so this panel over here. And then we're going to enable show shape handles in the browser. So oh, it's under identity data, sorry. There. Show shape and apply. So now you can see these grips come up. We're going to use the top shape handle. So this is little grip, this triangle, that's what they call a shape handle. And we're going to lower the material to 3'10" from the top of the wall. So we're going to pull that down so that it's 3'10". And once you have it pulled, see this becomes a temporary dimension. I can click in here and I can type 3 feet 10 inches and then hit enter to get that dimension perfect. And then I'm going to just click to release that selection. Now I'm going to select this other top part indicated over here, do the same thing where we're going to show the shape, hit apply, and then we're going to also drop this one down so it's 3'10". Okay, now we're going to select the bottom part of the second panel, which is this panel over here, and we want to select the material and change that to masonry brick. And say OK. Alright, now we're going to hold down the control key and it says to select the first panel. So my first panel that I was counting was this one, the second panel, and then the bottom part of the second panel. So the first panel, the bottom part of the second panel, and the third panel. So these are all brick elements. And it says to merge parts. So we're going to hit merge parts, and then it just made all of that brick. Alright? Then we're going to select the far right lower part of the wall. So this part of the wall right here. And we want to select divide parts again. And we want to enable add. And with add enabled, we want to edit the sketch. So we're going to edit the sketch, and we're going to set the work plane, and we want to pick a plane, say OK, and we're trying to pick the front of this. So see how it turns blue like that, and I click. I know I have that work plane selected. Now I'm going to use the circle tool, and I want to draw a 3-foot radius circle. So I'm going to click in here and come out until it says 3 feet. I can also type 3 feet and hit enter. And then I want to use the dimension tool to place a horizontal and vertical dimension to locate the circle. So let's go to annotate, dimension, and we want to dimension the circle here. Actually, so we're going to select the circle. Sorry, I'm going to select the circle first. Then we want to do that dimension. Let me see if I can look at the front of it here. There. It's going to allow me to dimension a little bit easier. So aligned, not quite allowing me to get on the side of this circle to the center of the circle. You can see how it pops up. It's being a little temperamental. There we go. So I've got it there. Just be patient with it if it does this to you. Okay, and then I gotta try to get this dimension over here, which doesn't quite want to do it. The other thing you can do is we could hit the green, we can hit the check mark first to place that circle, and then we can dimension it, which might be a little bit easier to grab. the center line dimensions. If it has trouble, see mine's really having trouble grabbing it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to go into the south elevation, and I'm going to try to dimension it in here, because this will make it, I can try to get it to let me go to the center of the circle. Alright, detail line. I'll draw and find the center. They make it, maybe this is working for you guys, but for me it's not. So now I have the center, this is the edge, there's a dimension, this to this, and then there's that dimension. Ooh, finally. So now if I click back on this, I can edit this division. I should be able to edit the sketch. Hit escape, click on the circle, and now these temporary dimensions, see now they're popping up. Of course now they want to work with me here. I actually want to edit the other ones, but I want this to be 4 feet, and then this one to be 4'6", and then this one to be 8 feet. So I have to move this up. So I click on the circle, and then I can type in here 4'6", and then I click on the circle, and then I can, it's not showing me the other temporary. I'm going to move this. It's supposed to be 8'6". So I'll move this over. I'm going to hit the green check mark, hit it again, and then actually now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my detail lines to help me. So detail lines, I know I want it to be 4'6" this way in the center, and then I want it to be 8'6". So I'm going to go 8'6", and then I'm going to move both of these. I know that's from the center over to the edge of this divide, and then I'm going to go back and edit the division. I'm going to click on edit sketch, hit escape, click that, and then I'm going to move the center of the circle onto those lines I created, and then hit the green check mark. So if it doesn't work for you the way it's saying it's supposed to in Revit, those detail lines are super helpful. Okay, so now it says select the circle that was placed, and then in the materials we want to change that to masonry glass block. So let's say OK, and then there is our masonry glass block. You can look at it in 3D. You can see that it's placed. This is kind of like a window inside of this element. So that's just another way to divide the material with different, or divide the wall with different materials. There's several different ways to do it.